Hi y'all, our latest Austin real estate stats are just out and I want you to be the first to know about them. So let's get into it. What's going on in our Austin market? Well, we're still recovering from the crazy hike we had. Good news, we're not having a sharp decline, but bad news is we still are declining in our values since that 2022 kind of hike. So far this year, number of sales for resale homes is down about 10%. 10% fewer homes selling this year than they did last year. Now, new homes they're doing better than last year. Remember, they're solving problems for our most vulnerable buyers, and that is costs, upfront costs to buy a home, and then that interest rate. They're giving them a low interest rate, so keeping that monthly amount affordable. So new homes are doing actually 14% more business this year than they were last. Condos, resale, not doing so hot. That's a vulnerable part of our market. When the market isn't doing so great, usually condos feel that first and get better last. But total sales, number of sales, when we take all of that into account, they're down at about 8% this year. Sales volume, dollar amount, and number of sales. I'm going to skip right over our average pricing and go to median. So same median price of about $400,000, but we have seen a 3% decline this year in our list square footage list price, and then a 3% decline in our sold price, and a 3% decline in our sold price per square foot. So values have come down roughly about 3% this year for our sold properties. Remember, there's a lot of properties out there that don't end up selling, and they come off market, they wait a little while, some of them rent. These statistics are just for the properties that actually do sell. Days on market has gone up 15% this year. 2024, our average days were 46 days. Here in 2025, the average days on market is now 53 days, about a 15% incline there. Now, interest rates, they have seen a little bit of a drop this month. So, we were hovering right around 6.8%. We saw that drop to about 6.5. For a second, they dropped to 6.1. And that was very exciting. It got a few more buyers into the market. And mortgage applications are up at about 10% this month, according to lenders. So in addition to that, we have enough evidence that I feel comfortable saying we're probably going to see some more interest rate drops before the end of this year. So that has more buyers getting engaged in the market. We'll see what we can pull off by the end of the year. But if you're a seller, your first days on market matter so much. That's when everyone is looking at you. That's when you're perceived as a good deal or something they should move quick on or not. Once you lose that new time on market, you kind of get mixed in with the fray, and we have a lot of inventory right now, over 6 months of inventory. So you really have to take advantage of those early days and come out with a good price, a fair price, maybe even a little bit below what everyone else is doing price. And it will save you so much time and heartache and probably a lot of money to do that right when you come out of the gate. Also, good condition. We're not finishing up any projects. We're not going to get to something, as we're on market. And then keeping that property in good condition. If it's vacant, it needs to be cleaned every couple of months, lawn mowed. I'm seeing a lot of just shabby properties where nobody's really visiting them or taking care of them. Also, pro tip, sellers, if you're going to have a vacant house, you need to have a vacancy policy added to your insurance policy. This will save you a lot of heartache as we go into the colder months. If a pipe were to freeze or something along those lines. Your insurance is going to be much more friendly towards you if you have that vacancy clause, and it's not that expensive. Buyers, we're seeing a lot of price reductions, lots of price reductions in this market. And so it is worth revisiting maybe some of those properties that weren't priced quite right in the beginning. It may be worth also looking at homes that have been on the market a little while but have shown a record of reducing that price. This is the time of year where sellers are giving it their last shot to kind of sell this year before the holidays. And so I think that in addition to having so many choices out there with inventory, you also can go back and just use this time of year where sellers are extremely motivated. New homes are the same. End of the year are their best deals. So their books close, most of them in December. They want those books to look good. They want those spec homes off of their inventory list. This is the time of year where buyers get the best deals. So if you're thinking about buying before the end of the year, definitely reach out. We have lots of good stuff to talk about. And if you're thinking about selling this year or even in the spring starts sooner than you think it does, sellers. February is when it starts. Then give me a call. I'm happy to come over, look at the house, see what we could do to get the highest value for it, and start making a plan with you that's going to be a success. I love talking about this real estate stuff, y'all, in Austin, Texas. I've been doing this since 2008. So if there's anything I can help with, please give me a call. Real estate's hyper local. There are certain pockets of Austin that are still very hot, that may still get multiple offers, and there's definitely plans that can set you up for that type of result as well. Hope y'all all stay well, and I talk to you soon.